Welcome back from lunch, everyone. Now we're going to move on to the civilian sector side of the house as far as the drone surveillance countermeasures are concerned. And some people ask, why do we get so specific about the civilian sector? The main reason, there's two reasons, financial and legal. When we are working like we did in the previous section with the military environments, just look at that, the overall program acronym that we discussed, which was DID, detect, identify, and defeat. The military will most often have a lot of money and resources to invest into making these objectives and missions become a reality. They also have a smaller or lesser amount of legal restrictions than in the civilian side. So the one thing that is similar between both military and civilian is that acronym itself. You can build your whole program around the necessities of detecting any drone activity in your area of responsibility, being able to identify what type it is, and then defeating it. Now, back to the military side, things can get actually kind of fun when you're trying to defeat drones. In the civilian side of the house, it's not really that much fun, and there's a whole lot of liability that comes along with it. So civilian side is, very complex. Plus, the company or the client that you are working for is undoubtedly not going to have anywhere near the amount of financial resources that the government does. So let's start with just these legal regulations, and there are going to be federal and state. Just on the federal side of the house, you have the airspace regulations. You have any laws and rules regarding interfering with an aircraft, because that is illegal. You have regulations regarding the use of the radio spectrum and interfering with other radios and frequencies. And then obviously you have the liability aspects. Now, not only is this a messy arena to be competing in, but if you break any of these laws and you are found not responsible, or you kind of get off the hook, there are still civil penalties. You can be sued civilly by somebody who feels that your drone activity or your drone counter surveillance activity, if they feel it was extreme, too much, and it costs them money. So what do? We recommend that everybody have, and by everybody I mean not just you guys as executive protection agents, but companies, security companies, have an overriding policy in regards to their surveillance countermeasures specific to drone activity. And then underneath that policy, we're going to have individual SOPs, which are the standard operating procedures for different tasks and incidents and methods of handling certain situations. Then we want to have an incident tracking and review piece, so that way we can come back in 12 months and look at the previous year's activities and say, okay, this is what happened, this is what we did well, this is what we did poorly on, here's what we either anticipated well or we were just not on the right track with this. And then you're going to go ahead and revise your program and try to fill in the gaps and reduce the amount of mistakes that you've had previously.